Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Ray Bassett here. I'm at my private fitness studio, the Firm U, and I have a new video for you, and it's about me this time. And I'm not only the owner of the Firm U, but I'm also a client. And I thought it was pretty interesting. I just went through some of my stats, trying to lean up for the summer. And I started about 8 weeks, maybe 9 weeks ago. And I started off very slow, like I do to my clients, and mostly being consistent, using my patience and giving it time. So consistency, patience, and time is really my, I don't want to say it's a virtue. It's what you need to do. And of course, being dedicated and having a goal, have a fitness goal in mind and sticking to it, and not making excuses. Just be stronger than your excuses, and you'll find out that most people quit right before they're just about ready to see some progress. A lot of times people use the scale or mostly the scale, and that's a very poor judgment of your progress. There are a lot of metabolic processes that go through your body that you can't see using a scale. And if you weigh yourself every day, you're really just looking at water weight being fluctuating either up or down, and it's contingent mostly of what you ate the day before. I know a lot of my clients even, they get up in the morning, go to the bathroom, this is the ritual, then they get on the scale, and they know that they're going to weigh the lightest at that time because you're going to be dehydrated. And so what are we doing? We're just playing with water. So in order to have a sustainable weight loss and permanent weight loss, my methodology is second to none. And I utilize not just the personal training or the weight training, resistance training, strength training, it's all the same thing. But I also use my lipo laser, which actually spot reduces fat in those hard to get places. Now that's a genetic thing. Everybody can lose weight, or genetic, or it can be age, it can be your DNA. I can't change your parents, so whatever your parents passed on to you, more than likely that's the way you're going to lose your fat weight, is through, some people lose above the waist, some below the waist, and a lot of that's gender dependent, but not always. Anyway, so I've got some stats here I'd like to share with everybody, and this is about 2 months worth of consistent training. Okay, and I try to stay, well, not try, I stay in the best shape I can, for business reasons. I mean, if you go to a trainer and they're not very conditioned, it's almost like going to a dentist that has bad teeth, or a CPA that's in jail. Nobody wants that, or I wouldn't anyway. All right, anyway, so back in April 8th, I stood up on the scale at 179.8, as you can see here in the yellow. And I just weighed myself, it was last week I did this, and I'm down to 168 now, which is a loss of 11.8 pounds, almost 12 pounds, which is a little over a pound a week, and that's about where you want to be. Losing any more, you're going to start losing muscle. Now, I have a unique way of training people to lose fat weight, not water weight. Well, you may lose some water weight, but it's more inflammation or interstitial water weight between your skin and the subcutaneous fat right before the muscle. Now, you may, if you're starting a training program, you may gain water weight, which is cellular weight inside the muscle cell. That's the good weight. That's the weight you want to see. But as you're losing fat and gaining cellular water in the muscle cell, your net result isn't going to be like the biggest loser. It's not going to be that great. It's going to be for a while. It's not going to be earth-shattering news. So don't let that disappoint you, because it's going to catch up where you're starting to get leaner, meaning that you're gaining cellular water in the muscle. You can't really gain that much muscle in a few weeks. You can't gain any muscle in a few weeks, but you sure don't want to lose it. If you lose 10 pounds of mass, we'll call it, you're going to lose a certain amount of muscle with it. But with my technique and my training principles, you will not do that. And I'll show you. Okay, so now I look at my body fat percentage. I was at 15.7% body fat, which is pretty good. I mean, if you're in your teens and body fat, I mean, you're pretty much rocking and rolling. You know, some people can start seeing their abs at 15%. Some people, depends on the person. You might see them at 19%. You might see them at 12%. Well, anyway, I mean, that's not too bad for April 8th. But as you can see, down to June 8th, I'm down to got 9.8% body fat. So I lost almost 6% body fat in 8 weeks. Now that's pretty darn good. That's 6% is quite a bit, 5.9. Okay, so let's move on. How about with the fat weight? That's the most important thing, I believe. My fat weight was at 28.2. So if I could cut off all my fat and put it on a scale, it would be at 28.2 here, highlighted in the blue, or blue next to it. We look at the blue down here, and I actually lost 11.8 pounds of fat. Now, coincidentally, it also says I lost 11.8 pounds of weight. So now I know that I lost that weight. It was all fat. It wasn't water. It wasn't muscle. Okay, remember folks, our bodies are only made of three things: water, fat, and muscle. Okay, so what are you going to lose on the scale? It's got to be one of the three. Now, if you lose a pound overnight and get on that scale, like I mentioned before, you're not losing a pound of fat. There is no way, it's physiologically impossible that you burn 3,500 calories. It takes a deficit of 3,500 calories to lose 1 pound of fat. Now, who thinks that they're going to lose 3,500 calories in their sleep? That'd be one hell of a dream, or a very active person in their sleep, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so that's pretty hard to do. So my point is that I actually lost fat weight, and I'm not fooling myself by thinking, okay, I lost 20 pounds or 30 pounds. You know, no, you don't. And I would gain it right back. Now, for me to gain all that pounds back, I would have to 3,500 times, 11 times. That's a lot. That's 35,000. That's over 35,000 calories I would have to gain, or on top of what I'm eating, to gain 10 pounds back. 35,000 extra calories. So I had a deficit of 35,000 calories to lose 10 pounds. I lost 11.8, but just to make it simple, 35,000 calories I had a deficit of. Now, did I take that out of my diet? Heck no. No, I changed my diet. I know that carbohydrates or sugars have the opportunity to turn to fat. I also know that protein and fat have a very hard time turning to fat. Now, they can be stored in the liver, and in extreme cases, if you're fasting, it will turn to glucagon, glucagon-like peptides, GLP-1, which is semaglutide, what semaglutide does. Now, you can actually do that naturally yourself to stimulate your liver to send that signal to your brain to say, hey, listen, I'm satisfied. I don't need to eat anymore. The only problem is that if you do it naturally, it only lasts for 2 to 10 minutes. But that should get you over the hump of, hey, I'm satisfied. Not full, I'm satisfied. Now, the semaglutide, and I'm kind of jumping around here, but the semaglutide actually will make that glycagon-like peptide -1 last for a half-life for 7 days. And half-life means half of it's going to work for full strength for 7 days. So you're going to have that satisfied feeling that you don't need to eat for a long time. Here's the number one problem with that, is that if you're not eating, that means you're not eating protein. That means you're not keeping your muscle, or you have a greater chance of losing muscle. And most people that take the semaglutide are going to lose muscle in the process. So where does fat burn? Where's it burn in the first place? That'd be the first question I'd ask. It burns in the muscle cell. So by losing muscle, people ask me, how long do I have to stay on semaglutide? Well, if you're just taking it as a medication because you don't want to work out and you don't want to eat right, well, you're going to be on it for the rest of for a long time, because that's what's saving you from gaining fat or losing weight. And I didn't say fat weight, losing flesh, which could be water, muscle, or fat. Anyway, so that's not the right way to do it. It's not the sustainable way. It can be used as a tool when done correctly. And I mean correctly by lifting weights, cutting back on your sugars or refined food. Okay, and that's pretty easy to do. It's not that tough. And then you've got your weight training and more emphasis on eating more protein. So the food that you do eat should come from mostly protein and fats. Again, fats won't turn to fats, the good fats, the fats that are not trans fats, that type of fat. Okay, so let's go furthermore. My fat-free mass, which is muscle weight, back on April 8th was 151.6. Well, guess what? 8 weeks later, 2 months later, on 6/8, June 8th, I'm still at 151.6 exactly. So I did not lose any muscle while losing 11.8 pounds of actual fat. Now that's why my body fat percentage went down almost 6% or 5.9, is because I didn't lose muscle in the process. So I stayed lean, not just lose weight. If you lose weight, I don't know, you've heard of the Ozempic face. That Ozempic face means that they look, their eyes pop out, their jaws or face is all sunken because they lose muscle. You have a lot of muscle in your face too. And some people genetically lose a lot of muscle genetically they lose facial tissue or muscle. So that's why they look so drawn out and just unhealthy looking. And you can tell a formerly heavy person just by the way they lost the weight. It's great to lose, 50 pounds in a month, but if you look like it just doesn't look healthy and it's not sustainable. I mean, what good is that when you know, or you have the fear of that coming back in another month after you stop whatever you're doing? I teach a lifestyle that's sustainable, that'll last you, an education that'll last you for the rest of your life. Okay, it's like going to college, except you're going to get your money's worth this way. Okay, doing it my way. My water stayed the same exactly. My water weight, cellular water weight. So that's why my muscle didn't change, and so I did things the right way, and that's what I don't say preach. That's the way my methodology goes here at the Firm U. When you sign up with me, you're going to get the same tools that I have, and I've got it right here. In fact, not only do I have it from a bioimpedance scale, measuring from the inside, but I can also measure the outside, and it's with a 3D scanner. Now, this 3D scanner is on a rotating scale that has a tower that takes millions of bits of information and makes you into an avatar. Okay, so you can look at yourself in a 3D figure. Now, nobody likes to do this. I don't even like to do it. Back in April 8th, when I did this, it wasn't fun. And I'm going to share that with you right now. All right, let's take a look. All right, so now what I've done here is it measures 6 locations around my waist right here. So I got 6 circumferences. Those total circumferences came up to 218.1. So 6 times, 35, 36 equals the 218 total on May 6th. Oh, this is on May 6th. Okay, and then June 8th, which was last week, I'm down to 209 as far as those 6 locations, meaning I lost 9.1 inches in those 6 locations, a little over an inch in each location. So it's not just one circumference, it's 6 circumferences. So I can stand myself from here to here, and you can visually see what your hard work has done, or I should say your lifestyle change. It is a lifestyle change. All right, let's take another measurement. And I can also do the circumferences around one location. Now this is around my belly button here. You can see on April 22nd, it's not even 8 weeks. This red right here represents April 22nd. The green represents last week, which was June 8th. Now you can see the inside, which is June 8th, and you can see the outside, which is April 22nd. Now, I could have a belt or my pants feel different. You know, I could have stayed the same weight. But if I see this, my Lord, I mean, can you imagine you're tightening up your belt and looking at your belt notches? Well, you don't have to do that. I have a 3D scanner that's going to show you this information just like that. How powerful is that? How motivating is that? My God, I mean, that's great. Okay, so let's keep going. Now this is just showing the circumference of that one location I just showed you. Okay, and that one location, I was at 36.3 inches around my belly button here. That's a new world record for me. I've never had my waist be that big. But then again, it was just getting over winter, you know, I'm moving into April, and I wanted to do something about it for the summer, and I did. So you can see in this location, on this avatar of me, I'm at 34.4. So I lost almost 2 inches in that one location, right around my gut, right here. And if you take a visual of this, you can see, I could take away the lines here, and you can see the difference between that waist and that waist. And that was only, what, 6-7 weeks, okay? And again, it wasn't like, it was in a torturous starve myself. Actually, I ate probably more than I usually eat. It's just I made better choices, okay? Also cut out the alcohol. That makes a big difference too. Okay, now I'm not saying that everybody has to cut that out. I'm just saying that, you know, cutting back on certain things. I usually give people 3 things that they can't live without. And you know what? We'll just keep on with that. I don't want that person to come to this studio thinking, oh, he's the guy that took away my licorice or my, my glass of wine at night. No, I'm not that guy. We can work around that. I can work around everything. Okay, we just got to change up a couple other things. All right, so let's keep going. Now this is me, and again, nobody likes to do these avatars. Now I'm wearing shorts in this one right here because I had no plans in that day to get on my 3D scanner, but I did. So this is 8 weeks, or it was April 8th, and this right here is June 8th, last weekend. Now you can just see right here where, yep, you got a little bit of a Dunlap right there, and that's about the first time in a long time I have ever seen that. Okay, I'm 64 years. I'm gonna be 65. I'm gonna be on Medicare. Oh my God, that's senior citizenville. Well, anyway, so, you know, age, does that have some kind of play in it? Well, yeah, it does, but we just got to work around things like that. So if I can do it at 64, you can do it at 44 or 24. Okay, so anyway, you can see the difference between me here and me there. And believe me, I feel a lot better here. All right, let's keep going. Let's go all the way to the end here. Okay, this I just got off the scale about a half an hour ago. I am down to 166, which is 2 pounds less than we saw last week. So where'd I lose the weight? Let's take a look. My fat weight is now down to 13.4. It was at 16 before. So I lost a couple more fat pounds. Well, did I lose muscle? Uh-oh, let's take a look. All right, 152.8. My Lord, that's a little bit more. How did I gain muscle and still at 8.1% body fat right now, today, as of a half an hour ago, I'm at 8.1% body fat. Lord, have mercy. My water weight percentage is at 67%. Now, everybody should be at least 50% water. Well, for men, 45% for women, okay? That means that I'm eating pretty good. That means my body is saturated with water, or my muscle cell at least. And I don't have much inflammation, if anything at all. So it puts me in the under fat range, but I'm pretty darn lean. So again, my body fat is only 13 pounds. 13 pounds, and that's down 2 pounds in about a week. That's a little bit more than I wanted to lose. And my water weight is even higher, or about the same, if not a little bit higher than it was last week. So it's not just water weight. I mean, I'm down 2 pounds, but it came from fat. So anyway, if you want to see these kind of results, and this is only 2 months, this is 8 weeks, and some of these measurements were done in later April, in May even. So it's very possible. Now, it depends on how much you want to put into it. I'll give you all the tools you'll need. I have all the answers to any kind of questions that anybody has, and you don't have to give up, you know, you don't have to sacrifice anything to the degree that you're hating life. I make it kind of easy. I make it so there's no excuses. Okay, I've done quite a few physique shows, bodybuilding contests, and things like that. So I do this to myself. So I know what people are going through or to get there. And all you're doing is changing your lifestyle a little bit. Still have fun on the weekends, still have fun on certain days, you know, and celebrate. I can't not drink beer and not have pizza every now and then. It'd be crazy. So if you want to have these kind of results, you need to go ahead and get the information down below. All right, contact me, set up an appointment. Now, my prices vary. They vary all over the place. Not everybody is the same, and neither are my prices. Depends on where I can fit you in. Okay, if you're in a spot, you know, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5 o'clock, that's a very popular spot. But if I can get you in at different times, you know, I have different prices for different people. All right, first responders, veterans, always are going to get a big discount. Okay, so anyway, this is Ray Bassett, and I'm going to be signing out here as soon as you hit that subscribe button if you like this video, and if you really like it, give me a thumbs up. Okay, so stay tuned for the next video, and I'll see you then.